So we're going to get into it this morning. Trey Ford is saying it's a perfect day to get to those truck stops. So whoever needs to hear that piece of information, boom, there it is. So let me just start out with who I am. So good morning, good morning. My name is Marian E. King. I am the owner of Empty Nest LLC, doing business as Empty Nest Logistics. Um, I've been a full-time independent dispatcher a little over a year now. But before I got into this, I started my business, Empty Nest LLC, in 2017. I had a lot of failures and I was still working, so I wasn't doing anything full-time. But the things that I was trying to do, they really weren't my calling. I really wasn't passionate about them. But I had all of these preconceived notions about what an entrepreneur was because of what was being shown. Everything people want to show you looks like success. No one was speaking about failures. So when I was trying different things and they were failing, there was no one to tell me that this is the experience that you're going to have to go through. This is what happens in business. This is this and this is that. So for 27 years, I was in customer service. One of my main roles in those 27 years was training, where I created training programs for people to go out on the floor, SOPs, which are standard operating procedures for people to follow by, for companies to follow by, um, and created scripts and those sorts of things. So that is where my strong suits were. Also in recruiting, because when you're, if in some portions, if anybody's ever been a trainer, you know that in the downtime, you help out HR with recruiting. You look through the applications, you see what's going on, so the things. So there are a lot of people that come in and they ask, like, what is she doing? What is she talking about? How do you know that you've only been doing this for a year, over a year? Yes, because I had 27 years of preparation. So I already knew what to do. I just needed to get the transportation portion and transportation information. So that is what I do. I love learning. I love it. I love it. I love it. So right now I'm just doing the introductory, you all. I'll get to the questions and answers in a minute. Um, so I am an independent dispatcher. I also teach others how to do it. The preparation, again, good morning, was the 27 years of doing the things. So what I do now in my business is I am an independent dispatcher. I am not taking on new carriers because there are other things like this that I want to do in my business. So I have one carrier, and we've decided together that we're going to grow their fleet. So I started last year. My first full-time client was a hotshot. We operated a couple of months. It was a husband and wife. The husband drove trucks for 30 something, 31 years, and the wife drove, I think, between 15 and 17 years. So after a while, we were doing great. I was making good. I was making enough with them to leave my job because I had to plan my way out of corporate. I speak on a video on that on my YouTube channel, but a high level overview on it is my husband was my first sale. I had to convince him that I could stop working full time and be a full time entrepreneur. But I had to show him that I was making the money to maintain my business so he can maintain the household by himself. Again, that's a conversation that is already done, and we can talk more if you want to later. So, and my second one was a box truck, the Trinity of Challenge. It was a non CDL 24-foot new authority box truck. Um, Been there, done that, wrote a book about it, about how I had to cry and pray and really put, the plan of action together on that and how we were successful. And now I learned in that experience that I did not want to dispatch any non-CDL carriers. So at the end of that experience, I let them know in December that in January, the second week of January, when everything slows down, that I was no longer going to be working with them because I was no longer going to be working with non-CDL drivers. The first week of January, when we were ending things, that owner sent me his schedule to get his CDL. So at that point, we decided to grow together, and now we have one box truck and two power onlys. So I am deciding to stay with that one company for myself and to have access to do all the other things that I want to do. So I am not taking on any carriers. However, comma, I am training others via free, which is my YouTube, which you guys are going to hear me talk a lot about free and cost-effective things. So that is where I am on that. So I guess if I wanted to, put maybe a title, or not a title, but a description of what I do, I would say I try to assist with pain points of the administrative roles in independent transportation businesses. If I just wanted to put something on there, because I assist and talk with people from my experiences in the carrier owner operator seat as well as the dispatching seat. I do not offer or provide regurgitated information. I am a person that believes that experience is the best teacher. So I talk to you all and I speak to you all from my experience and application. And when I say application, things that I have applied to business, I applied working for other people's businesses that were successful. So if I had to just put something on what it is that I do, I have a whole lot of free information. I believe that whether you can pay for information or you cannot, information, valuable information that can still set you up into a position to get in a place of monetary gain should still be important, which is why I have so much information on my YouTube channel that will get you where you need to be for free. I am not a person that is always pushing money, pushing buy, purchase, purchase, purchase. If you've experienced me before, you've heard me say this. If not, I'm going to say it now. I am a person that lived in lack for a long time. It didn't mean I wasn't deserving of information. It didn't mean that I wasn't intelligent enough to process it. It just meant that at the time I was not in a place where I could afford to pay for what people considered value. And I vowed that when I got into a place where I could learn something that I was passionate about, I was going to share it with others, whether they had money or not, but they would have to research the information, which is what we should be doing when we want to get to in any place of information at all. We must research first. So I consider my YouTube channel my resume, and a library and a wealth of information. So if you want to know anything about the experiences, what you're going to do, what we have to do, I'm going to be referring everybody to go there first, because I'm getting in a space now where I want to come on live and answer people's questions live who have already done some research. They just need some moving forward, rather than those who are just popping in, who I have short videos, I have long videos. And at this point, there are a lot of people who are coming on the video that's 15 seconds long and saying, what do I do? And the video, has words and is saying, this is what you do. So I'm trying to come away from that, and guide them into a space where they can find everything that they need, and they can decide if that is all that they need, or if they want to make a purchase. And even if they don't want to make a purchase with me, I also consider my TikTok, my Instagram, and my YouTube channel like window shopping. Before you place an investment, which means before you spend money, please take a look at these places and gather a lot of information. That way, wherever you decide to spend, if you decide to spend, you know what you should be getting. So when you ask whomever, if they can't provide you certain things, if there's not a way that you can speak to somebody, fairly quickly, you know what to expect. I did that also because when I got into this, nobody wanted to help me. Nobody wanted to tell me anything. If you said good morning, they were sending you an invoice for $15 to say, if you want me to say it back, because you need to pay for my time. I don't move like that. I don't like it. So I provided and tried to provide everything that I need and needed when I was coming into this, and everybody acted like it was just such a secret society. Well, I'm here and the secret is out. So I get hate texts, hate inboxes where people saying I'm talking too much and I'm messing up their business. But I believe this: if you are operating in your purpose and you're passionate about that purpose, money, resources, networking will come. It will chase you down. So I'm going to continue being the light that I'm purposed to be. So my information style, if you haven't experienced me before, it's conversational. I can have conversational teachings because I'm speaking from experience. See, I'm not Google trained, I'm not YouTube trained. I griped and moaned for multi-billion, million, and billion-dollar companies for years. I looked at that as preparation, like it was an ongoing interview for such a time as this. So I wanted to come on this morning and talk about that. So I have, I'm just looking at to make sure I cover, because y'all know I get real conversational and I'll get off track. So I want to cover this first. So I already stated that I believe that you should have information, whether or not you can pay for it, and it should be of value. I will not ask you to go to my YouTube channel to see any sprinkle, cover, put the wool over your eyes. We all know by now there is enough um, introductions out here showing, their chandeliers and their wonderfulness and their whole lot of commas and zeros in the bank, but nobody is saying, I was struggling, I was crying, it really didn't happen, I was emotional, I was depressed. Well, I am because I believe that, I don't know what you believe in, but I read a real good book. They call it the Bible. I'm not throwing that on anyone, but I read in that book down there in the Revelations area. Don't quote me because I don't really throw scripture like that, but I believe I was in that area when it said that, we help out others or others come through the words of our testimony. And I have a testimony because I honestly believe that independent transportation businesses, independent dispatching business is a ministry of some sort. Because if you don't have your mind right and you don't understand what really goes on with a carrier and how they're missing things at home and how they're out there lonely and how their health is declining and how they really need people to talk to and it's really lonely, the things. If you don't understand the things, this is not going to be for you. So I'm here to prepare, I'm here to speak on it, I'm here to post videos, the things, because what is happening is we got people out here saying that it's an $800 billion industry and you're going to make all of this money, but nobody is telling you that it's been an $800 billion business for years and it's not even to $799 billion business. So that should tell us that some work needs to be done. And even when you do the work, your piece of the pie still won't crumble those numbers. So I got tired of looking at, unrealistic conversations and unrealistic expectations. Because when we see those who aren't real with us, when we see those who are prospering and who are operating wonderfully, but they don't tell us that I had a fleet, and I'm in a contract. All they show us is all of their trucks and all of their vans and all of their commas. But they don't tell us that I had dope money when I got into this. So I flipped 50,000 with 17 of my other homeboys who had 50,000. No, all they do is tell us, get into the trucking industry. It's an $800 billion business. All they show us is, the trips that they're going on. All they show us is all these summits and situations that they're having with the big names. But once you see the big names, they never really know any information. They invite people along, like myself, who are informational, who can speak for them, and they pay them good. Well, I'm not going to conform to that sort of behavior because you can't pay me. You won't pimp my gift. I think that's a good way to say it, because I've been giving something. And when you string me, when you put me out on the corner, when you put me in the face, you are pimping me. You're getting a percentage. You're getting your name boosted on my knowledge. So we're not going to do that. So when you all see me here often and I'm live and I'm answering questions, when you all see me here and I say, when I see people saying, hey, what you talking about? What you doing? Please go to my YouTube channel. Understand, I'm not being rude. I'm not being ugly. But at this point, I need to speak to the people who are researching, who are doing the things. But I also need to provide a space for those who are lost or who do not know what's going on to research. We have to understand, y'all, research is the first thing that we do in anything. You cannot wholly take somebody's word, because what has happened is, again, in my resume in this year, I started a group on Facebook because I was doing this very thing. The group got to almost 800 people. 700 strong of them came from the two top very popular African-American owned dispatching company, male, and the top African-American woman dispatching class. Nobody had to help them after they had paid all of that money. Not didn't have to, I chose to help them because this is what we do. This is how we have to do. And this is why I am adamant about you all knowing some type of information before you make these huge investments. And then you circle it back around to me and you want me to sit and one-on-one you, but you want to tell me I already paid $3,500, so I'm not doing that. I already paid. Well, listen, you didn't get you either gonna go get a refund or you're gonna, operate in how I'm doing because I'm gonna provide. And I have I have number one, which is free. You all will hear me say it all the time. If you already took a course, don't you pay another dime to anyone. Take that information, check out my YouTube, and see if you can pull it together. You've already invested enough. So that is what I'm on. So I wanted to talk to you all about it, tell you all of the things. And then lastly, my motto, I live by it, I move by it, is to listen to whomever is coming to you for whatever. And then next is to educate them. Talk about it because it's your area of expertise. And then advocate for them if they allow you to move forward in whatever it is that you're doing. Again, even in listening, even in educating, it is still free. Now, if I move into advocation, which is providing you a service, we have an understanding. So that is what I wanted to come on this morning and talk about, because there are a lot of people who are continuing to see me, in different things. But in order for me right now, again, I'm not taking on any new carriers. However, you can email me and I will get you connected with somebody that I am teaching or that is looking, because I'm making sure that I pour everything that you like about me into them. I'm not doing mentorship, one-on-ones, or consultations, because I want to have the time to come on here and answer people live. You all be having questions that are immediate. You need things answered that are the make or break between your next decisions. So if I allot time to be here in a space for multiple people, it makes me, feel better. And especially when you are about to make a monetary decision, you need some free talk before you make that commitment. So that's what I want to do. Now, I do have that I just created and are available now, and I'm just going to announce these for informational purposes. But you do what your pocket and your household tell you to do, which is why I have the same value in free. But it's just not the handheld, the intimate details, because it's just too long for that out here. So I do have what is it called? Self-paced dispatching courses. I have two options. I have the first option, which is a self-paced course. It starts you from beginning, if you've never heard of this business before, all the way into running your business. So everything that you can think of is in there. And then it also has attachments. Attached to it is my ebook, My Homeboy Said, which helps you in running your business, and a dispatcher agreement, which helps you when you take on a carrier. That's option one, self-paced only, highly effective, $399. Still not 678, because I don't agree with that. I don't believe in it. Then I have the second option. The second option is the same, self-paced, all of those attachments. However, you get access to, well, I'm changing it to 2 weeks because I realize y'all don't need that long. But if you get it right now, you will be able to start it right now, and you will have access for 3 weeks starting on October 23rd. And I'll explain to you all why. So you can get it now. You have access for 3 weeks in my nesting and mentorship group, which means if you have questions, if you're operating in your business, you have access to me to ask your questions right then in your business, from on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then in that group, I'll be going live as well, just to be there in case it's quiet. So the reason that the self-paced option 2 will start for you on the 23rd is because number one, is going to be done by me. I don't have any assistants. I don't have any of that. I'm going on vacation from October the 15th through the 23rd. So I figure if you go ahead and get the self-paced course for that now, you'll get your full 3 weeks on the 23rd. Because I had it originally where you got it the 30 days. It was at 30 days at the time. It started immediately. But I realized that it was unfair for you to try to do your self-paced portion and still maximize the 30 days at the same time. And that one, that option is $499. So for $100 extra, you can retain me for 3 weeks to be available for you. I'm sorry, Monday through Friday, generally in the group. And then on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, if you need a one-on-one, if there's something specific that you're not understanding, then I will have the option to pull you in. So I felt like that was fair and definitely fair pricing. And the pricing, let me tell you all, I got it from my students. So in my class, I had owner operators and I had people who had taken courses upwards to $3,500. So when I did everything, I asked them what did they feel it was worth. But I also told them, y'all know this is me. So all that 6, 7, 800, that's out. So I don't care if you thought it was that much. That's not what my spirit tell me to do. So that is the maximum of what I have now. I'm also going into self-paced because I want to focus now fully on brokering. I want to be able to come on here and be as efficient speaking to you all about brokering as I am about dispatching. So that is the bit about me this morning, why I do what I do, who I am, all of the things. So if you want to ask questions, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go over to YouTube. If you want to join me on YouTube, same name. I'm going to turn TikTok back on, but it's really distracting y'all when y'all really have questions and I'm really trying to focus and people popping in here talking about what is this? What is she talking about? Oh, she just wants y'all money. She just bet. Clearly, they have never watched me. So I'll be here. But if you want to really get the focus, come on over to YouTube and let's talk. All right. Thank y'all so much for y'all time this morning. And like I said, I'll be right back YouTube. But if you really, want to get to me, please join me over here on YouTube. Thank y'all so much. And I'll be back momentarily. Excuse me. All right. So, all right, YouTube, I'm going to turn you all off really quickly. So this video is short and saved, and I'll be right back. So we can really just get into it. So give me about 2 minutes and we'll be right back.